This is Good Morning Mumbai, and you're with Hrishi K.
Radio 1.
And I'm with an Irish boy who's world famous. Shane Filan, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Hrishi. How are you, man?
Excellent. I got to tell you this. One of the biggest disappointments for me was I was going to MC a show at the Hard Rock Cafe, man. And,
I heard you just told me. Yeah, that's pretty cool, man.
But we've got to do this again.
No, without a doubt. I'm definitely coming back to Mumbai, so we'll have to do it the next time I'm back.
Football fan. Hey, Shane.
Yeah?
Terrible loss that day at the Derby, wasn't it?
We're not going to talk about that, are we?
I mean, come on.
You know what? It could have been 10-1,
It
you
could
know.
have been, yeah.
But Rooney's goal was incredible.
Spectacular, wasn't it? The way he curled it
Oh,
around
it was amazing. So I take that away from the game. We have a big one week with Liverpool as well, so
Yeah.
that's probably just.
And
as
I'm thinking
important.
that for those of you who didn't figure it out already, we're talking about the Manchester United game against Man City.
Yeah.
It's almost as though Fellaini was a little apprehensive, almost as though, Man United have done him a favour.
I don't know. I think, to be honest, I think he's a good signing. I think especially the game they played, the Champions League game they played a couple of weeks ago, when they dominated completely, and he was brilliant in the middle of the park. So it's one of those things you got to wait and see where it goes. But I think we definitely could do with a bit more strength in midfield and in defence. I think there's a couple of signings that they definitely need to make at Christmas. So hopefully they will, because it's not looking too rosy at the moment, which isn't good. So I think we need to be back up in the top 3 or 4 hopefully. But it's going to be tough this year. Arsenal, Spurs, they're all playing well. So.
Yep.
It's Liverpool even.
And you, my friend, are a bit of a player yourself. You won a charity soccer game, I believe.
We did, yeah. We Soccer Aid actually a couple of years ago. That was pretty cool. I got to play in Old Trafford, and I got to play with Giggsy, and I got to play with Zidane, and Figo. They were all on my team, so that was pretty cool. And we bet it was the rest of the world versus England, so we won. We won on penalties, but it was a great fun. It raised a lot of money for charity. Yeah,
amazing. I went to Old Trafford and obviously took the whole museum tour and things like that, and just got a feel of the grass, and I could just imagine what would be like that with all those screaming fans, like a pop concert, isn't it?
It was, but it was a different kind of vibe. It was just like dream stuff, because you have Zidane looking at you and passing the ball to you and stuff, and you're like, what am I doing here? But yeah, it's like a carpet, the grass. It's amazing.
Pick a Shane Filan song to start the gig with.
Let's go with my first single, Everything to Me.
This is Good Morning Mumbai, and you're with Hrishi K.
Radio 1.
I'm with Shane Filan. You would know him. The Westlife man has now gone solo. Fabulous EP here and a great song which you just heard. What is it that you Irish have for breakfast and lunch and for dinner? All my favorite musicians, I got to tell you, are Irish.
All right, okay.
I play a lot of the script on my show.
Oh, the script are great.
Boyzone, Ronan,
Yeah.
Westlife, yourself, the Cranberries.
Cranberries, great.
Bunch of them.
Amazing. You too as well, you forgot.
Yeah.
Just that little band called
The little
U2.
band called U2.
Yeah. I don't know, Ireland's a very musical country, and I think we've a lot of successful acts obviously all around the world, and I don't know, you're growing up, you're kind of just brought up with music everywhere, whether it's in pubs or whether it's on TV or radio. It's even going down the street, you see a lot of people playing live instruments on the streets, and you just grow up. It's just a very, very musical country. I think music just makes people happy in Ireland, and they do a lot of it to try and be happy, so it's one of those things you can't get away from in Ireland. It's brilliant.
And they always talk about Irish pathos in the music and things. The brilliant part about you is you're a songwriter too. I mean, you're a lyricist too, and you've written all your songs, isn't it?
I know, yeah. It's really amazing, because it's the first time I actually got to do it properly, and the record label were very encouraging to do it, and I said, look, I'd love to try. And the first song I wrote was Everything to Me, so I got off to a good start, and they were really excited about it, so I kept going and ended up going to Nashville and stuff like that. So it was a 6-month process kind of writing songs, but it was very, very liberating, very relaxing. I found it. All the songs are very kind of honest kind of lyrics, true songs, very positive songs, all about kind of my wife and my family and just being happy in life. I can't write negative songs, so I just found it very difficult to write songs that even weren't about me. Some sessions I went into, the song, I was going in with another songwriter, and you go, let's write something about this guy and girl that broke up and he wants her back, and I'm like, I can't write about that. It genuinely doesn't make sense to me. I said, good idea, but maybe save it for somebody else. But for me, there has to be some truth to it. So I felt the more truthful I was and the more honest I was, the easier the song was to write. So I just kept going that way then.
It's like my dad says, when I was in school, he couldn't get me to shut up. So he knew that I probably would be a radio DJ.
You've ended up being He was very right.
I'm saying, in high school, was there a bit of that? Did you write sonnets and, compose it for girlfriends and things like that?
No, I was into into poetry and stuff like that a little bit, but it was more, for me, it was all about singing when I was younger. I wanted to, I just wanted to sing. I wanted to be a pop star. I wanted to be in the Backstreet Boys and stuff like that. And, I wanted to be on stage doing musicals. I did Grease and Oliver Twist and all them kind of musicals when you're in like high school. But yeah, I got on the stage and I never wanted to get off it. I was always trying to get into every single musical. But yeah, it was one of those things I loved. I love to sing and I'm still singing, so it's all good.
Pick a Westlife song we can play.
Flying Without Wings.
This is Good Morning Mumbai, and you're with Hrishi K.
Radio 1.
Shane Filan is here. We're very happy that India is part of his plans to come and release this beautiful EP that he's done. It's called You and Me, right?
Yeah, the EP is actually called Everything to Me.
Everything to Me.
The album you're talking about.
The album is called You and Me.
The album is coming later in the year in November. So yeah, this is kind of I think the EP is like a little taster of what's to come for the album. All the songs in the album, there's like another 15 songs or something coming on the album. They're all new songs as well. So I'm very excited about it. As I said, I got to spend 6-7 months writing these songs. It's quite upbeat as well. The album is quite up-tempo, which is probably a bit different to Westlife. I think there's only about 3 or 4, there's 4 ballads I think on the album. So yeah, it's I'm very proud of it, and it's one of those things I'm going to be working very hard, traveling all around. India is my first stop on my international tour, so it's good to be here. There's lots of fans there. I didn't realize it's pretty cool, the reception I got.
Your manager, is it the same manager that you had with Westlife?
Louis Walsh, yeah, he is, yeah.
And there's a bit of a story about that. Apparently your mom was involved. I did a Google on that.
Oh, cool,
saying
yeah.
Your mom called him and things like that. You got to tell us that story.
Yeah, it's a great story actually. He was manager of Boyzone as well at the time. So obviously we were starting off in a boy band in Ireland, and my mum was very kind of, we want to get the best for you. You want to get the best manager in the world.
Like that.
So she was very determined to get the best person to look after me. So she wanted to get Louis Walsh, obviously, which was quite, I thought, ridiculous and out of this world. It's never going to happen. So she kept ringing him, and eventually she got him. He was in his office one evening. He answered the phone, and my mum is from the same town as Louis Walsh, back when they were younger, in the west of Ireland. So he took her call, and I think that got his attention when she said where she was from. And then basically he said he'd meet me, and he met me and a couple of the lads, and 6 months later we were signed to Simon Cowell and supporting the Backstreet Boys, and we'd already bought tickets for the Backstreet Boys, and we got to support them, so that was pretty amazing. And then that was it took off after that, and Westlife was born.
Simon Cowell is incredibly funny, isn't he?
He's a very funny guy, yeah. People I think people see the serious side to him and stuff like that, but he's very funny. He's he's a gentleman. We worked with him for a very long time. He picked all our singles for 14 years. So yeah, it was one of those I suppose you see the famous Simon Cowell now. He's obviously mad famous all around the world, but yeah, we signed to him before he was famous, I suppose, and he stuck with us all the way. He was great.
I think he quite enjoys the fact that he can be nasty and get away with it. Some people enjoy.
Of course he does. He loves it. He is Mr. Nasty, and everybody loves him. The nastery he is like, it's better. Obviously it's great TV, but in real life he's very truthful, he's very honest to you. He'll tell you if you're wrong. He'll tell you when he thinks it's a bad idea. But I think he gives it a bit more on the TV show. I think it's a bit more for good ratings and stuff like that. But he's great. He's obviously very successful. He's done great.
I like the fact that you're from a small town. Do you still have a house there, or do you live elsewhere? Where do you live now?
I actually live just outside London, in Surrey. So it's like the county beside London. So I'm about 40 minutes from.
Good cricket team. Good cricket team. We're crazy about cricket. You'll figure that out.
Oh no, I know. I've seen it everywhere. You go past all the parks. There's like loads of cricket going on. I know India's very good at cricket anyway. You see it on Sky Sports all the time.
Definitely better than England.
Yeah, there's lots of test series. You see India playing England all the time. But yeah, it's great. It's a nice place to live. It's very important, I suppose, for my career too. I'm very close to international airports and stuff. Where I'm from in the west of Ireland is small town Sligo, so it's there's no international proper commutes for airports and stuff like that. So it makes more sense to live in London.
Pick one more song, a Shane Filan song, and I hope it's off the sampler they've given us. I think it's got about 4 tracks on it.
It's got 4 tracks. Do you want a ballad or do you want an up tempo?
Let's go for a ballad now. Yeah.
Okay, we'll go with Once.
This is Good Morning Mumbai, and you're with Hrishi K.
Radio 1.
Shane Filan's here with me, and I'm having a rollicking time. There are going to be pictures of him up on twitter.com/HRISHIKAY. And if you're on Facebook, it's facebook.com/HRISHIKAY. You can like the page, and you'll see pictures of him. Ladies, eat your heart out. He's in India because...
Cheers, that's some build-up. There better be good pictures now.
He is in India, very excited. The solo album is here, and he's actually written all the songs, so that's great stuff. Musicians you admire, people you put them on the CD player, you put them on your iPod, and go, wow.
I think my favorite singer is probably Bryan Adams, favorite musician. I've always liked him. I just think he's always had amazing songs. He's got an incredible voice. Definitely inspired me, I think, when I was growing up. When I was younger, Michael Jackson was my idol, without a doubt. He definitely was the person, I think, that encouraged me to start singing. I used to copy him and stuff like that a lot, and try and sing like him and dress like him and everything. So, but for me, I think now listening to music, I think Bryan Adams is probably the top.
And 3 kids?
3 kids, yeah. I have 3 kids.
What's the youngest and who's the oldest?
I've got a girl 8 years old, Nicole, a boy 5, and Shane Jr. is 3.5. So it's a busy house. The 2 boys are definitely making the house busy.
I'm sure, and I have a daughter too. So do they have their dad eating out of their hands like most daughters do? Yeah.
Without a doubt, my daughter actually does this eyes. She looks up at me with her eyes and kind of puts on a sad face when she wants something, and she just gets me every time. I have to be really strict to try and not let her get away with too much, but she gets away with a lot more than she probably should. But Gillian's a bit stricter, my wife, so she kind of keeps it all a bit on par.
And do they get it that the papa is a big pop star?
They get it that they get it he's on telly, he's a famous singer and all this, and they kind of, I suppose they're used to Westlife and stuff, but they're kind of working out now that I'm not in Westlife, I'm on my own, so they're trying, that transition now is just about sinking in now, because they've seen me on lots of TV shows and stuff with the first single, but yeah, they're getting the hang of it now. But they're looking forward to all the concerts and stuff next year, and they're asking me about, we used to have a big tour bus for the tour, and the big purple bus, so they keep asking me about, are we getting this purple bus to go on tour? I said, well, look, we'll try. I don't know if it'll be purple, but we'll have a cool bus for the tour. That's all they care about.
In touch with any of the Westlife boys?
Yeah. We're all still in touch. Yeah, we all still call each other and text each other, and they all wish me good luck, which is nice, and they all like the songs too, which is the most important. It's obviously you spend half your life with 3 other guys, or 4 other guys, including Brian, obviously, when he was in the band, and it's nice to get kind of the thumbs up from them. It makes me feel a lot better.
Okay, now we're going to break into my favorite Westlife song, which is Bob Bob Baby. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Go away, yeah? I wrote that song, yeah?
What are you saying? I didn't know that.
Myself and Brian wrote that song.
I just dig that
song. That was
song.
the only Westlife song that we wrote, yeah.
Management actually turns around to me and says I played too much.
Yeah. Love it. That's great.
So here we go.
This is Good Morning Mumbai, and you're with Hrishi K.
Radio 1.
Shane Filan has gone solo, and this is so big. I got to tell you this. It's amazing. My favorite Westlife song, sorry, beg your pardon,
Bop, bop. Bop, 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 bop.
is written by him. How cool is that? Yeah, bop, bop, bop. Okay, India.
Yeah.
What's on the anvil as far as the country is concerned? Is Mumbai, and what else?
Yeah, well, this trip is going to be Mumbai. I'm here for 3 days in total. I obviously did a launch the other day. I'm doing a big Universal, my record company, is having a massive conference here as well, which is very important. It's all the kind of MDs of all the Asian region and Australia as well. So they're all here for a conference. I'm performing at that tonight. And there's already plans to come back to India in January, they're looking at the moment. And a possible duet actually with an Indian artist too. So there's talks of that happening at the moment. So that'll be pretty cool.
I have a sneaking suspicion I know who this actress is, but Devraj will be on the phone with me saying, "You're not supposed to give away secrets."
Yeah, I don't know. There's a couple of people have been talked about, but I'd love to do it. I've never done a duet, obviously, as a solo artist yet. So it'll probably be one of my first times to do a duet. But I think especially going to foreign countries as well, I think it's important to get into the culture and get to know about music, and get to obviously let people hear your music as well through a duet, and it's the best way to do it. And hopefully it'll be a great song, and hopefully you'll be able to hear it soon.
Of course, and be able to play it, of course.
Yeah.
England, there's so much of Indian food in the UK, and
I love Indian
live in
food.
Surrey, but this is the real Indian food. There's no stop button for the spices when you're here.
I know. I think they actually went a bit easy on us last night. We were in the hotel, and we were in a restaurant in there, and it was amazing food. It was like kind of like little bits of like 7 or 8 different courses, but I just kept eating. I was just like, yeah, this is incredible. I had like there was chicken tikka masala, but there was also some fish, like a fish curry that I never had before. I never had fish in a curry, and it was absolutely incredible. So I'll definitely be having more of that when I get back to England.
What's the workout routine like? Do you spend a lot of time in the gym? Or?
Yeah, I'd go probably 4 or 5 days a week. Yeah, just doing cardio, a bit of weights and stuff like that. I think it's important as obviously you get a bit older, you need to try and keep in shape. But I think as well you're more focused and you're mentally in a better place if you're after doing a bit of sweating in the gym. So yeah.
All the girls throwing themselves at you, how does your partner take that?
She's, I think, well, she's used to it. I think with Westlife and stuff like that. Obviously, I've been with my wife the whole way through Westlife, and I've known her since I was very young. So it's one of those things. She was I loved her before Westlife. So we stuck together the whole way through. But yeah, she's used to, she knows there's going to be attention from girls and from people in general. So she doesn't mind. She's cool with that. I think if she had a problem with that, she definitely wouldn't be married to me by now.
What is the most amazing holiday destination? The place where you could just pack your bags and go with the family,
It's actually not too far from here, I don't think. Maldives, is that close to here? It's
close.
Indian Ocean, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's in the south, yeah.
How far is a flight from here?
You go to Bangalore and then 2.5 hours.
Is that all?
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Yeah, probably the most beautiful place I've ever been to. I went there for my honeymoon for 2 weeks, and we went back as well the second time. But yeah, incredible, just paradise.
Did you get one of those villas with the glass floors?
Yeah, we got the glass floors, you see the fish underneath, and you got the stilts out in the water. And it was funny, a funny story. I was on honeymoon, and there was two like really fancy villas, and we went all out for our honeymoon. It was like the big villa out on the end of the runway or whatever. And there was another one beside me, and Paul McCartney from the Beatles was staying there. And I was like,
serious?
and that's exactly what I said. That's exactly. I was like, with the hotel were like, you've got a bit of a famous neighbour beside you, and I was like, oh, who is it? And they were like, oh, Sir Paul McCartney from the Beatles. So I was like, and I was just like, what? So I was like kind of randomly walking on the beach in the mornings, and I was like, hi Paul, like that. But he was very nice. I got to chat to him a few times and stuff, and he signed something for me and Gillian, my wife, and he was very, very cool.
Yeah, a fan moment there.
Yeah, a big time fan moment, yeah.
Listen, I had so much fun. Thank you very much for coming to the country and coming to the studio.
Thanks for having me, Hrishi. Cheers, man.
Cheers, man. And before you go, one more Shane Filan song.
One more Shane Filan song. Let's go with Every Time from the EP. I love this song.